Hey everyone, it's Chris and Charlie here with Daily Motor, and today we're starting off our week with the 2022 Mazda CX-30 Turbo. Got a little sneak peek at the window sticker, and I'm very excited because it's allegedly dark blue with brown interior.
Specifically, deep crystal blue.
All right, well, if it's anything like Mazda's Soul Red, it'll be a very deep and impressive color, so let's find out.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's bright outside.
Oh, God. I always like flashbang myself walking out of here.
There it is. Just ignore the.
Oh, sorry. No, I was looking at that. Okay, Mazda CX-30. All right, what do we got here? We got some black wheels going on.
Are they black?
They are. Okay, that tire
It's
looks
a very
pretty
dark
low.
blue. Does it? I think it's
Just the way it's
hopefully
parked.
just the way it is.
Oh, actually, I was wrong. The interior is white, which is very, very bright white. Holy crap.
Here you go.
For some reason, the car doesn't want me to get into it. Okay. Oh, okay.
This is a thing with the CX-30.
Yeah.
Not friendly to legs.
Well, here, let's give it benefit of the doubt. Let me get, because it could have been the really tall driver that dropped it off.
It wasn't, but I do think they're probably instructed to put the seats all the way back because they want the cabin to look very open and airy to you. Don't get us demonetized.
Yeah, I was looking for the volume knob. Oh, there's a crumb in there.
I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the new Mazdas have too many bongs.
Yeah,
when
it's
you start
8.
the car.
It's
It
8.
is 8.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 8 is too many.
Okay, so let's turn this down also. So, let's see here where I'm comfortable. It's a little bit far still. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty, okay. Wow, I can feel that. Thank you, sir. So how is it back there? Let's take a look at your knees. Oh, okay.
I'm very upright.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that does some things.
I could be fine back here. It feels claustrophobic.
Okay.
Come swap with me.
Okay.
Viewers,
Yeah, I'll give them a POV binaural audio of the back seat.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. No, this is. Yeah.
Like you could be back there, but you wouldn't want to be.
It would have to be a child. Or
Children
nobody.
would be better,
Or nobody.
But
Just
we
use it
know
as a
from
shelf.
the Topher that to put a rear-facing car seat in, this seat has to be quite very forward.
Quite very.
It's so much so that they ditched their CX-30 and
For a
changed it
Highlander.
For a Highlander. The
Okay,
leather
well,
feels nice.
You know, yeah, Mazda does a good job with leather, and I wasn't totally wrong about there being brown in here. Because
No,
take a look at the dash, the door panels.
This is this a different shade of brown than this?
No, it's just because the sun's on that.
Are you sure?
Mhm. Yeah.
The sun's not right here. This looks darker.
Must have left my phone inside.
This is
But,
definitely darker.
Okay,
Is this brown or is this black?
that's black.
See, now the sun's gone.
To me, it looks the same, but that's from
Hop on
back
up
here.
here.
Cup holders. Okay, here I come. So you've got quite a bit of chrome on the front here. Chrome trim on the doors too. Oh, I want to guess. 36.
Spot on, chap.
Wait, seriously?
35750.
I'm good.
Yes. Quite a bit cheaper than that Audi Q3.
Hmm. Yeah, this is a bit smaller though, I think, than the Q3.
A bit. Not a lot, but a bit.
What is under there? It's gonna bother me.
Wow, it's permanent.
Okay.
I think that is a feature.
Opera music plays.
Probably a booger.
Hmm.
Yes. So now do you still think this, looking at it as a single, I think those are two different types of brown.
I can't tell. I don't know.
Also, even right here, doesn't it look like two different types of leather? This looks shiny, and that looks matte.
Yeah. I don't know. What I appreciate about Mazda is how they incorporate so much leather and so many premium feeling materials into their
Yes.
cabins for a car that's sub 40 grand, you know. I remember the first time I rode in the Topher's Mazda CX-30, I was really impressed because I hadn't spent any time in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow, this is actually a lot nicer inside than I was expecting. But that is, of course, the case with a all modern Mazdas.
The steering wheel feels so good. Feels leather.
Oh yeah, nice and soft.
I should figure out how to transfer this steering wheel to my Maverick.
Yeah, well, if there's any shared components still with Mazdas, then maybe you'll be able to.
Right. I'm sure it would work okay. Let's do the Toyota Tacoma test with the speed bump.
Oh, are we really? Oh,
Not
that actually
terrible.
wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I hit the bump stops in the Buick Envision on that.
That was probably going about 5 miles per hour.
Yeah, and the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross did the same thing. So you can see sort of the type of vehicle that bump stops over that speed bump.
Can't imagine what type of vehicle you're playing.
Yeah.
The brakes are not working very well. They're not slowing the car down very effectively. I mean, the throttle's remarkably jumpy, but I think you get used to that.
Yeah.
Being the turbo, Mazda probably wants you to think, oh, it's very peppy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that simulated peppiness,
Mhm.
as millennials would probably say, because this is a millennial car. You are a millennial.
Yes. And we loved the I mean, I'm saying bad things about the CX-30 just to get them out of the way. I'm quite a fan of the CX-30.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the CX-30, and this is ever since the Topher got one, is people who buy this thinking this is the right option over the CX-5, but it isn't.
Oh, right.
The CX-5 is the right car, and this is too small, and that's exactly what happened to the Topher, and I'll never forgive Mazda for tricking him that way, because he thought I said, Chris, you were going to have an child.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was aware of this yet, but his wife was aware that
he was having a child
was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, Chris, the CX-5 will have room for both the rear-facing car seat, a stroller, all the other accessories that babies come with.
Oh, right.
And he said, no, did you do this intentionally?
Sorry.
It is satisfying though, isn't it? And I told Christy it's going to be too small. You're not going to like it. And sure enough, it was.
Yeah.
And he had to get rid of it. And it was a shame because it was a good car.
Yeah.
Fuel tank was too small.
That's the thing with this turbo model, or is it the all-wheel drive that gets you that?
Everything gets you small fuel tank.
Really? Okay. Chris was trying to tell me that there was either the front-wheel drive or the non-turbo or something.
I think the front wheel drive gets like a gallon larger tank.
So
but
this
it's
is
still
only
not
like
great.
it's like an 11-gallon fuel tank, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
not
fill up
large.
like 4 times on the way on my trip.
Which will be a big change because you just took the same trip in a 3 Series.
I used
that
like
you could have probably gone there and back on one time.
Oh yeah, no, literally the fuel range was like over 500 miles on that car, which means you could do Chicago and back on 1 tank of gas.
Yes.
But
so this being the turbo model, it makes power. Who knows if previous people put premium fuel in this, but it's probably about as fast, if not a little bit fast. About as fast as that 3 Series we just had. I mean, it's got some grunt to it. And you have paddle shifters.
What about the Roadster?
I think it's probably about the same as the Roadster too, but the Roadster is so much lighter that it feels a lot faster.
Oh, heavens.
Dancing around there with understeer and oversteer.
I just got POV of you like wrestling it.
Holds gear.
Holding that gear. Are you in manual?
I guess I am. I think it's because I pressed the paddles.
No.
Run, little groundhog. Don't do it.
Oh, he thought about it. He's like,
my opportunity to end it all is right now.
He's like, oh, not a CX-30 though.
No. So we're gonna trundle over the rough ride section here. Do you ever slow down to the alleged speed limit when you're doing the videos through here?
What is the speed? I don't even know what the
45?
speed limit is. That's right. I'm not a fast driver.
That's fair.
Oh God. Something's rattling also back there.
Yeah, this seems to be the car driver spec.
Ah, yes.
Between the brake pedal and the rattle.
This is a big one. Yeah.
I always try to hit this one at 45 miles per hour in SUVs. It gives me like a baseline of how
I don't know
much
that
it
I've
jumps.
ever hit this at 45.
So we fully expanded the suspension there, but really not too awful.
Have you ever gotten air over that? No?
Maybe in like a Camaro. No, I've never had a
Camaro.
So
Jeez.
I get air elsewhere in Camaros. Yeah, I quite like this from a driving perspective. The steering is a little vague and dull. Tell me if you feel that once you get going. But unlike the CX-50, you can steer this with one hand without being a bodybuilder.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that was a weird thing about the CX-50. It's like unusually, it's a raccoon. No, it's not. What was that?
I think it was,
a lot of critters today.
Yeah.
Unusually heavy steering in the CX-50, and yeah, I don't.
Another thing I'd like to point out Nice shifter, but this is a lot of wasted space. And we just learned from the 3 Series. Oh, look, there it is again. What is that? It's sitting right by the entrance of that door. It's like a giant rat.
It's itching itself.
Is it a squirrel?
Is it a skinwalker?
Is it a gray squirrel? I think it's a...
I don't know what it is. That is not a squirrel. That's the if it's a squirrel,
Look,
it's the biggest squirrel I've ever seen.
It's a muskrat.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
muskrat.
muskrat. People eat those, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no. Up north.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm from north.
Well, not your side.
Real up north?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, a lot of wasted space here. A lot of room that cell phones and ketchup packets could go. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, you have to use that area, I guess.
What are you supposed to do with that?
I think this is
Is
like...
there a wireless charger somewhere? Not up there. How about in here?
No.
Oh. Okay, well. Got a couple USB ports, USB-A ports, so.
I think that's kind of the thing.
Oh, the crumb's gone.
Yes, I moved it out with that dramatic understeer,
Oh, now
oversteer combo.
it's just permanent, very permanent.
Nice door handle feel.
Yeah, for sure.
This is probably powered. It
Oh.
is, unfortunately. Good amount of space. I don't like when they have a big lip like this, though. Although, can you put this up into a higher position? No, you can't. Because if a small woman, such as Emily or Alyssa, were to have to try to lift something heavy out of here, you have to get up over the lip.
Yeah,
and then
so
back down.
that was kind of the CX-50 party piece, was like everything's a perfect level for loading your gear, as they say, because it's like the adventure vehicle.
Right. Of course, it's not just groceries.
No, adventure gear, like zip lines.
And that's interesting because your girlfriend Emily has a Jeep Compass, and she loads adventure gear in that a lot, right?
All the time, yeah. Starbucks, empty Starbucks, empty water bottles, Target
adventures of the
bags. Yeah, no, she does a lot of adventuring.
So, Daily Motor top tip: if you do a lot of adventuring,
Yeah.
maybe not the CX-30.
Maybe not.
because
Maybe
it'd be
the
hard to get your
CX-50.
gear in and out of.
A lot of cladding.
Yeah, that helps with adventure.
That's always been the thing with the CX-30, is the most controversial design element for me is just how thick this cladding is on the side. I mean, you've got a good, like...
That's a lot.
That's a lot of cladding.
That's a tall bit of cladding.
It's a tall bit of cladding.
Well, you know why they did that? Mazdas have a history of rusting.
Oh,
And with the cladding, that won't happen.
well, it'll just rust above the cladding.
God, you're such a... What's up with you today?
So we have how many different drive modes? Oh, just sport and
unsport.
Sport and off.
Off.
So we'll start out in off, since Charlie kind of exhausted sport mode there around oversteer. Tan headliner.
This doesn't.
Oh, hold on,
extend.
wait, does it? Oh no, you have this.
What did someone do to this car within 2,000 miles? My goodness.
I don't know. I think someone had a
Trash
child.
speck.
Someone had a
Those
child
those
in here.
bother me, because that doesn't block the sun out all the way. So it's like it's just a
Yeah, that's the
tease.
purpose of it. However, this goes the right way.
That is interesting.
Mazda always does a good job at that, and their sporting sort of vibe that they give the cars.
Wait a minute, that's almost carbon fiber. Look at this in the sun.
Yeah, no, I was looking at it earlier.
It looks quite nice. Yeah,
It smells weird in here too. Somebody like,
It smells like dog.
yeah, it smells like someone had their dog in here, which is probably why there's on the headliner and there's a bunch of in the back seat too. And I also feel myself becoming allergic in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like clean this out before I take it
To Chicago.
Yeah, it like really smells like dog over here.
Yeah, that just started like as soon as you brought it up. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
let's take the Bolt after all.
I'm not doing that. I'll just be allergic.
You could take the Roadster.
Emily would not accept that. She would not ride in that car for 8 hours. Anyways, though, not the smoothest ride in the world,
But not bad for this.
but not
price.
bad for this price and this platform.
Category. I just the thing that gets me is the turbo motor doesn't fit this car.
Or any Mazda.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
I know they do it to just feel like a more premium.
A lot of torque though, low down.
I was gonna say they tune it to be torquey. It's a better powertrain than the Q3 that we just had. I like.
It's quiet. I mean, here, let's listen to it.
Yeah.
It's not grainy.
No,
No.
not grainy at all. Plenty grunty. It's nice, but the whole reason you get the Mazda
Ooh,
is
yeah,
it's
the
like
brake pedal is
yeah,
down
isn't that weird?
there.
It's it's budget niceness.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy, look at this car coming up behind you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's clap central.
Oh.
It's supposed to be budget niceness, and by getting the turbo, you're getting less budget. It costs more to own, more to drive, worse fuel economy, and more to purchase.
Yeah, so it does defeat the purpose slightly.
Right, but you get this entirely nice interior with not the premium.
Yeah.
Or not the turbo. So I would just get the base motor. I'd essentially get with the Topher head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not necessary when this is the kind of car that you're getting.
Yeah. And I would get the CX-5.
Yeah.
CX-5 still drives well.
CX-5 is such a good car.
Looks great.
even over the CX-50. You know?
I'd still get the CX-5 over the CX-50 because I can't get over that steering. Squealing them.
6-speed auto, plenty smooth.
6-speed is nice.
Yeah, the 6-speed is really nice. And Mazda does a good job with just making the smoothness with the gear shifts. Looks like we got some home link here on the rearview mirror.
It's a nice frameless mirror as well.
It is. That goes a long way.
It really does.
Yeah.
See, Mazda knew the little things they could do to give that wow factor.
Yes. Oh. Very slowly around here.
We must get back to DMHQ so that I can go pilot the slingshot back to Rosenau Motors. Sports, Power Sports.
What time do you have to go?
1:30. I know. Hey, a 1 Series. Not to distract you. Quite a nice one, too.
Yeah, my roommate in college had 3 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, crashed 2 of them.
It'll be nice for you to spend a good amount of time with this and sort of get some living with perspectives, because I think it's very easy for journalists to just get in this car and be like, wow, this is a nice car, you should buy one, and then leave. But you will actually be spending meaningful time with your significant other and doing life with it.
Yeah.
And you can weigh in on, for example, how frustrating is it that you have 2 fuel gauges that read different amounts.
Yeah, why does Mazda do that? I don't understand.
Maybe it's their way of staying quirky.
Because one of them just gives you obviously like full empty, but then the other one gives you mileage, but they don't read the same.
No, they don't.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes.
How triggered can Chris be by the end of this review?
Literally,
Find out.
yeah.
Daily Motor.
Okay. I think triggering's intensifying because I'm also starving.
Gonna
Get
leave some
sushi.
cheese somewhere here in the car.
Please
so that you
don't
can-
do that. Now, as you can imagine, over here at Daily Motor, we get a ton of automotive related questions in the comment section. The most popular one being, can you fit the dashboard from a BMW E93 series in the back of a Mazda CX-30? I know this is a very popular question among enthusiasts, and it's your lucky day because we're about to find out and answer this question today for you. So down here out of shot, as you can't see, I do have the dashboard from a BMW E90. So let's go ahead and open up the Mazda CX-30. This is a common question because a lot of people want to choose, should I have the Mazda CX-30 or the CX-5 if I want to transport the dashboard for my BMW? And you can see under first impressions, you don't have a ton of space here in the CX-30 for things, especially if you have legs and you want to sit in the back seat. So what if you put the seats down and treat the CX-30 more like a 2-seater utility van? Let's see how that works. Just drop these. Oh dear. Excuse me for a second while I move the passenger seat up. There we go. Okay. That seat is down. The question is, will the driver's side seats go down behind the seat in my driving position? I'm going to say no. If you force them, they will. Okay. Ow, that's hot. Ow. Ooh, the black trim gets hot. And it's hot out today. Okay. So here we go. Here is said E90 dashboard, and honestly, it looks like it's gonna fit. Ooh, okay. And there you have it, folks. Like a glove, the E90 dashboard fits. It's snug. You've got about 2 inches of room between the passenger seat and the back of the car, but just enough room here to transport this large item. Thank you so much, and now resuming our normal scheduled content. Wrapping up our week here in the 2022 Mazda CX-30, and I just got home from a 500-mile round road trip to Chicago and back. So we've got some good road trip impressions on this car. We're gonna put Charlie behind the wheel today to get some of his final impressions. But it's been a good week with this car. I was a little bit iffy at the start just because of the size of it and knowing that I was gonna be going on a road trip.
And because it smelled like dog.
And because it smelled kind of weird at the start, but the smell has left the car, and so have all of my doubts about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So poetic there.
Thank you.
Did you fill it up with the smell of Culvers and farts?
Culvers, yes. Farts, yes.
Proper road trip smells.
Proper road trip spec and smells.
Cool.
But
did
it
you
did
keep the white seats nice and clean?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
It did a really good job.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. So let's go for a little spin around the block.
So I should ask, you had Emily as your passenger.
Yep.
Oh,
Here's
it's
some,
still nice and
here's
cool
some
in
of her hair.
here. Oh, and I'm receiving a telephone call, which seems to be the cool thing to have him from business office.
Oh.
Hello, this is Charlie. Oh, I connected to it. Hello, this is Charlie. Oh, okay, business office doesn't seem too concerned in actually speaking with me.
What is business office?
It's my secret office where I do business. Yeah, a lot of dings, a lot of bongs.
Yeah, 8.
When you start 8. Yeah, I know. It's too many.
Yeah, but
yeah, what did Emily think of
she liked it.
riding shotgun?
She fell asleep in the seat quite a few times,
Okay.
so it was comfortable enough to fall asleep in. And honestly, it was good that we took a road trip in that BMW 330i. While that car was very efficient, this was just so comfortable and so easy, and just like it's got adaptive cruise. It doesn't have the best lane keep assist, but it does have pretty good adaptive cruise and really smooth inputs everywhere, and it was just really a really nice ride.
These seats do seem like they're more comfortable than those 3 Series seats.
The 3 Series seats were not comfortable at all. These are comfortable seats.
And this probably has a better sound system.
Oh, this is like easily A tier.
Yeah, isn't it weird how I thought I was crazy, but I think this sound system is better than what was in the CX-50.
Oh, 100% better.
Which is weird because they should be similar. They're both 12-speaker Boses.
Yeah, this is definitely better than what we had in the CX-50.
I think this is the best sound system. This and the 3 are like tied for best sound system that Mazda makes.
It must just be like the acoustics in the interior, because it's a smaller space, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to tell.
No, but
I do like the feel of the steering. I was on a Honda trip before this, and we were talking about cars with obscenely heavy steering, and somebody else brought up the CX-50, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, what is up with that?
Yeah.
They said the only other car they can even closely compare it to is the Nissan Frontier, which is saying something when your family crossover
as compared to a truck.
Has the steering of a full-on body-on-frame truck.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they did that with the CX-50, because the 30 has very pleasant steering.
It does have very nice steering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they tried too hard with the CX-50, whereas this they tried just the right amount in everything.
The CX-50 does take itself very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost to a fault.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching our review on the CX-50 today.
Well, I mean, jokes aside, I do think
know.
people are going to get kind of confused with Mazda's lineup these days, because you had the CX-3, which is now gone. You have the Mazda 3, which is still here in hatch and sedan form. Then you have the CX-30, which is this, the CX-5, and then the CX-50.
And the CX-9.
Right, and then the CX-9 and the MX-30. So that's that. Yeah, I mean, it's really.
You got the 3.
I do feel for the people trying to diagnose the Mazda lineup.
Well, the MX-30, I think you can only buy it in California.
Yes, that is.
And it only has 100 miles of EV range.
So, Daily Motor top tip: if you're buying a Mazda in California, don't be confused by the MX-30.
That's
by
right.
the CX-30.
Yeah.
Did it ever bother you that this leather is different than this leather?
No, I never noticed that till now, actually. It's a little bit shinier, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's maybe because one of them's real and one of them's fake. Or just maybe this has been touched more?
No, there's no way it would have been that touched over 3,000 miles for it to
It's kind of
evenly weird. Change itself. It's kind of strange.
I've been wondering what happened to the headliner.
What did happen to the headliner?
know.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we noticed that on the day it showed
a
up.
dog, likely.
Yeah, probably a dog.
Did you drive it with Spirit at all?
Not really.
That's probably fine. I don't think many CX-30 buyers
No,
will.
yeah, I mean, it was just a really nice ride. Like, I have no complaints. And also, okay, important thing for Chicago, perfect size for Chicago.
Okay.
It was easy, you know, weaving in and out of traffic, nimble, and then also when it came to parallel parking, it was very easy just to stick it in a spot.
Understandable.
So,
Do you think the turbo powertrain is necessary?
no.
I agree with
It
you.
is quick, though, this is.
Yeah, it is quick. It's gutsy, too. But I remember when we first had the CX-30, just the normal one, I was probably fine with that car.
Yeah.
It's rare that you're ever more than half throttle into this one, and I understand that Mazda's trying to push themselves up market.
Yeah.
I got a little rotor vibration there. Maybe
Yeah,
you were driving
that was not me.
the car and driver spec.
Yeah. Those were vibrating the day that it showed up.
Yeah.
Actually, I did drive it spiritedly on my night drive that I filmed.
Ah.
And if you brake torque it and launch it, it'll spin the front wheels.
Really?
Even though it's all-wheel drive. Yeah, it'll screech the front wheels.
Interesting torque split there.
Yeah, if you let it build boost for a second, it'll really get off the line.
Did you guys have any issues with storage?
I got a little bit frustrated using this just because when it's back, or there's some certain point where you try and shut it and it like doesn't shut.
Right, you have to have it in just the right position in order to close it. And
So if it's like here, yeah,
that's
that made
That's
me
much.
kind of irritated, but once I got used to it, it was fine. Phone storage, just kind of left the phones in the middle, or I left my phone in the middle.
And it
I-
has to be plugged in to have CarPlay going, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have this spot up here, but if you have drinks, so I started with my phone up here, but then we got drinks, and then
Okay.
I was like having to reach behind the drinks if I wanted to grab my phone, which don't obviously while you're driving,
Of course not.
you never need to do that, but if you were to need to grab your phone for something, it's really like inconvenient. So into the center console it went.
Okay. Makes it so you pretty much don't grab it.
Yeah.
Because getting this open is difficult.
Yeah,
so
right.
you
Exactly.
eventually just
It's
disregard
actually
the fact you have a
it's a
phone.
safety feature.
Yeah.
And then also infotainment. It was pretty good, and if you guys are interested, I have a whole separate video on the infotainment system that'll be on DM Sound. But I would give it a 9 out of 10. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm pretty satisfied with it. The only thing for me that gets irritating is when you're in Apple CarPlay and you want to go back home. The home button doesn't take you home to
Sure.
Mazda. So like I was wanting to check my information screen to check my fuel economy or fuel
Your
efficiency.
fuel
which,
efficiency monitor.
I got about 31 on my trip.
For the turbo motor, okay.
So, you know, not terrible. But anyways, what I was saying is when you're in Apple CarPlay, you have to use the knob, because obviously this isn't a touchscreen, so you have to like scroll to get back to Mazda. So that's the only irritating part about it. The good thing though is that it reacts very quickly. There's no lag or anything. It's not like a Ford system where you have to wait 3 seconds between inputs.
Right.
So, no, I mean,
Yeah, if those were your biggest complaints, it's really not too bad.
which are like silly little complaints.
Yeah.
Otherwise it was good.
I like how, and this it's not going to show up on camera because you're not driving, but maybe over here, the turn signal turn signal blinker like fades out.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
That's a nice little
Well, it's
touch.
kind of how the lights look when the turn signal's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like
Supposed to.
softly blink.
Okay.
There's one sort of build quality thing though that I want you to feel.
Oh.
Reach your hand around the window switch there,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
feel
that's
it kind of
surprising.
would like pull up. Kind
Yeah.
of feels like it would. Yeah, feel that.
Totally, it does pull up.
Oh, yep, it's been removed.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I was like, oh, that's kind of crappy feeling.
Okay.
Otherwise though, super soft leather on the
Yeah.
dash. The seats are great. And I forgot to mention the most important thing for road trip, okay? Both elbows. Feel how soft that door panel is.
Lots of
Spongy.
sponge. There's like a ½ inch of sponge. in
My
there.
elbows were comfortable the whole time, and that is key to a proper road trip car. So
There's your thumbnail text right there. Good elbow comfort.
good elbow, yeah.
Yeah, good for
Happy elbows.
Happy elbows. Yep.
Can I put that on the thumbnail?
Yeah, happy elbows. So people will really want to click on that because they'll say, "What the heck?"
Yeah, they'll be like, what does that mean?
This is. I feel like that could be styled a little more interesting. That's how much you have to nitpick into this car. Because look at this, is nicely like
Yeah.
contoured. If they put a little, I don't know.
Another little like right
Yeah, it
here.
looks very Volkswagen-ish to just have it square like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a great car for 2 people.
That was another thing I wanted to mention is this was a great road trip car for 2 people.
Yes.
No more. Not even 3.
Right.
You could maybe get away with a third person if they laid across the back seat, but that wouldn't get I mean, that wouldn't be super comfortable, but there's really no room in the back.
Yeah. Well,
It works better as a shelf than it does as a seat.
so it's essentially a 911.
It's basically a front-engined 911 Carrera 4S.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that.
Drive on.
Oh, did you notice there's a little compartment over here?
Yes, I
Maybe
did.
if your phone were small enough, it could have gone in there.
Yeah, no,
but
I
you couldn't have plugged it in.
didn't use it for anything. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I know I tried to come out swinging a little bit against this car when we first got it, but I mean, hey, just buy the naturally aspirated model and you've got a great two-person, one-person car.
Yeah, and the Topher owned a Mazda CX-30. Well, his wife did, but it was still a car that was part of the Topher household, so that tells you all you need to know.
Speaking of that, can I ask, was the small fuel tank an annoyance at all?
No, I only had to fill up once.
Okay, so even though...
And then obviously when I got home, I filled up.
Right.
But 31 mpg, I filled up right before we left. I filled up again like 90% of the way through the first leg, and then I got us all the way home on that same tank.
Okay, so even though you just did the road trip with a car that has about twice as much range, it didn't really matter.
It didn't bother me. I mean, of course, I wouldn't love to have stopped, you know, on the way there, but it was okay.
Okay.
It could use a bigger tank, but whatever.
All right.
Cool. Well, that'll wrap up our living with the real world review.
Is that what the
I guess so.
will be?
That's what it's going to be.
CX-30, living with the
Real world. Living with the real world. What was that show with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie? It was called The Real World, right? Okay. Well, I'm Paris. That's Nicole.
Yes. Why do you
with
get to be
Daily
Paris?
Motor. What?
Your hair.
What'd you say?
Why do you get to be Paris?
Oh, you want to be Paris?
Well, I mean, you have the better hair, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm Paris Hilton. That's Nicole Richie. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Drive on.